All right, Jackson, so you need a little help with your parents because they're believing everything they see online.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my parents just figured out what Instagram Reels are. And they've been incessantly sharing and sending them to me over the last couple months. And
they learned how to share too. It's one thing to discover the Reels, and then it's a whole other ball game when they figure out how to share stuff.
Right? I mean, it's a big deal for them.
It is.
And at first, it's funny things here and there, and then they started getting on this trend where they started sending me a lot more self-help sort of messages, and then also
sending you a message,
maybe
with the message,
and it's not even subtle. It's like maybe I do need help, and I get it when it comes to career advice and things like this. It's like these cheesy motivational things, and I'm like, whatever. They're looking out for my best interest. But then they've started also sending me these videos that'll tell me the dangers of microwaves and sort of these pseudoscience-esque videos that they see, and they immediately pick up on them and think that these, there's so many things out there that are dangerous for you without doing any proper research behind them. They just see it and then they share it, right? And I'm concerned because, with the rise of these deep fakes that are coming out, and, again, a lot of these things that they're sending are these sort of quote unquote self-help gurus that you see, and anyone with any basis of charisma standing in front of a crowd or on a stage, can convince people of a lot of different crazy things, right?
There's a lot of false information out there.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's a lot. I realize that everybody in the world on social media totally has their act together. They really do. They're all millionaires, and everybody has all the answers on social media.
You know what I did appreciate that Zuckerberg and what Meta has done is that somebody shared something the other day, and they had the little disclaimer on it that this is false information, that they Facebook does and Instagram does some research into stuff. And so if you shared something, and this was politically charged, somebody shared something trying to prove a point, but their point was disproved by the fact Facebook was nah, dog, this ain't real.
Twitter started doing that too.
Yeah, well, Facebook needs to use it on itself when they're telling us they're not listening to our phones.
Right? And so what's also concerning to me is the fact that, the more that they're engaging on these kinds of posts and sharing them with me, it curates their algorithm to promote more of these types of videos. So then it kind of has exponentially increased recently. And so because of all of this, I've decided to compile a list of what you should be considering and thinking about when you come across these kinds of posts. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is consider the source. Okay. Look at who actually made the post and see if you can get a sense of credibility there. I don't think they ever look at the profile that's promoting these. They just are blindly sharing these.
And sometimes when you go to that profile, you will see comedian, satire, and then that person was just full of it and trying to get under people's skin.
What a perfect transition to the next one with, is it a joke? Okay, because sometimes satire can be hard to pinpoint, especially when you're looking at posts that sort of play into your own biases and things that the preconceived notions that you have about certain things. So just give it a second of thought, okay? Don't just believe things as soon as you read them, okay?
And trolling is such a big thing today, too.
It really is. And not trolling to be mean, but trolling just to get people to believe the smack that you're pushing. And now I've made sure, because I have people send me stuff for bad takes all the time. And then I'm in this camp where I'm going a little bit deeper, checking out profiles. And also, this is crazy, reading the caption. Sometimes there's a hashtag that says satire.
Yeah.
Right? And also, I mean, just a side note, when you're looking at comments, you also can't believe everything that you're reading in the comments, because that's how so many rumors start, or people just say things and they're talking out of their rear, and you never know exactly what you're getting.
I brought this up last week, and most people don't know this, is that, when you're talking about algorithms, that once you click on one thing, then the algorithm says, that Jackson likes that, I'm just going to keep sending him the stuff. I told you guys last week that it has been proven that the comments go into an algorithm also. So if you like a comment or you make a comment, the algorithm will start pushing kind of comments to you. So Abby and I can look at the very same picture. She can comment one thing, I can comment another, and then she'll start seeing different comments on the same picture that I do.
I think that's so bananas.
It's scary.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's honestly scary. And then I think the biggest thing is to read beyond. As someone who's chronically online, I tend to just not believe anything that I see. And if there's something that's sort of piques my interest, I'll go and do a quick Google search and just read about it and figure out what are the actual facts behind it. You know, I'm always someone that's a proponent of looking at, you know, science-based evidence for things and actually fact-checking yourself. So give it a quick look, you know?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to turn this all serious and stuff, but I do think this is a good jumping off point, because I'm the same place you're at and the polar opposite from your parents. I'm at a place now where I don't believe anything. I don't know what to believe anymore when I go online. I don't know who wrote the article. It feels credible for me. I know we're not going to talk about politics on the show, but here I go. So I'm not real happy with the two presidential candidates that we have, right? So I've been searching other guys, and Kennedy caught my eye also. So I start going down a rabbit hole for him. And then you start realizing that both parties don't want this dude in the election. So now I'm looking at all these attacks on him, and I don't know what to believe or what not to believe. Everybody in here also has had things about them said online that either are not true or embellished. So we've been the victim of this also. And when I read those, I just think like, people tend to believe what's right in front of them without doing any research at all. And just because it's said doesn't mean it's true.
100.
Completely agree. And also the scary thing is, even if you're on these sites and you're reading all this stuff and you're not believing any of it, subconsciously that's doing something where it's planting these little seeds in your mind where maybe you do start believing something if you read it enough, especially when it comes to literally anything that you're reading online, right? And so the last thing that I wrote down here was check your own internal biases. So a lot of times you're going to self-promote things that you already have a preconceived idea of. And it's really sort of a dangerous game to play when you're in these sort of echo chambers where you're engaging on posts that fall in line with what you already believe, and then you only are getting that side of the story when you haven't looked at the other end of it.
100%. I think I got caught up in this last week more superficially. A couple of people sent me videos because they know I love crumble cookies, right? So a couple of people sent me videos of this one influencer saying, hey, you guys, I don't know if you know this, but at the very end of the day, Crumble will not throw away their cookies. They give them away for free at the end of the day. And I'm like, what? Free Crumble? So I start sharing it left and right. Then I get all these videos going, it's BS. It was all satire. I didn't look into it. And I endorsed these guys and I had no idea.
The Bert Show.